my name is Caroline Reid, and I am so thrilled to hear that you have placed your order for your Awaken the Warrior CBT Band. This means that it is officially on its way to you, and also that you have taken the first steps to taking your well-being and your mental health back into your own hands. So before I dive in and share a little bit more about how the band works, I thought I would briefly introduce myself, a little bit about my background, and also how the Warrior bands have come into the world and the impact that they're now having. So as I said, my name is Caroline Reid. I live in the UK near Manchester in England. And my background is I'm a transformational life coach. I do a lot of speaking up and down the country on all things well-being, mental health, resilience. I also run a workshop in the workplace around the warrior well-being, and very recently created a book collaboration which got to Amazon #1 bestseller, and it is called the Warrior Wellbeing Toolkit. So what I am all about and what the warrior movement is all about is recognizing that there is not one size fits all when it comes to our mental health. And I'm sure that you'll agree, you've no doubt tried different things in the past. You may very well be trying different things now, and you will find that some things really, really resonate and work for you, and maybe some things not so much. That's okay. That really, really is okay. And it is about creating, as I said, a toolkit of different techniques and ideas and tools for you to use day to day that can really enhance your resilience, build your confidence, and give you that warrior mindset. So if you were to rewind back 10 years ago, probably not even 10 years ago, my life would look very different. The person that sat here talking to you today, completely different. And it took a hat trick of life events for me to really, what I call, wake up and smell the roses, that the world isn't against me, that actually the more that I think and worry about what could happen, feel like a victim to circumstances. And I was really struggling with anxiety. I fell into the wrong crowd. I didn't really know who I was. But what I was sure is that what was going on up here felt like chaos. There was lots of negative self-talk, self-doubt, and basically bullying. And it took, as I said, that it was a hat trick of life events from me having to leave where I was living, leave some pretty nasty relationships behind. I then lost a really close family member to suicide, and my best friend to cancer. So when these happened, I remember thinking, okay, I have a choice here. I can either go down, and I mean really, really down, or I can figure out a way to pull myself up out of this. And I'm going to begin to do whatever I can to help myself and actually learn what it takes and go on to help a lot of other people. It really gave me the, dare I say, the motivation to go out and make those positive changes, as I said, for myself, and then teach others how to do it. So I invested a lot of time, energy, money into this personal development. I knew it needed to start up here. So I invested in life coaches, CBT, NLP. There was lots of different things. And there was one particular tool and technique that really, really stood out to me. Well, it was incredibly simple. Simple to the point where I doubted it at first. I'm going to be honest. Once you get to know me a little bit better, I'm brutally honest about anything from my past, what works, what all of us have been through. And yeah, at first I was like, really? Like, there's a lot going on up here. Are you sure that this can help? And I was open. I was open to trying whatever it takes to begin to create this positive change. And what I'm talking about is a simple CBT technique. CBT stands for Cognitive Behavioral Therapy. And it was originally the rubber band technique. And what I was advised to do is wear this band on my wrist. And every time I caught myself having a negative thought, snap the band, replace it with something more positive. I was like, okay, very simple. I'll give it a go. And within the space of about 48 hours, I began to notice that, as I said before, I was very, very, very much living with a bully. I worried about everything. My anxiety woke me up first thing in the morning. The self-doubt, the fear of judgment. What would other people think? Am I pleasing enough people? What if I get it wrong? Am I good enough? Constantly whizzing around in my mind. And through using this simple CBT technique, I began to expand my self-awareness. I began to really tune in and realize what was going on. And that was the key. I was recognizing what was going on. So therefore, I was given a choice. I could either continue or I could begin to choose. And the exciting part is you are in exactly the same position now. We no longer have to be a victim to that negative self-talk or inner chatter or the worrier voice, as I like to call it. And once we begin to recognize what is going on in the mind, that's when we can begin to change that inner self-talk. So I then went on, and as I shared before, I got many qualifications, became a master NLP practitioner, studied in CBT and transformational life coaching. So I now help a lot of people start with that inner mind and begin to transform from the inside out. Everyone from recovering addicts through to head teachers, children, directors of companies. There's really a huge variety in my clientele. And the people who use the CBT band, which is on its way to you. So as I said right up at the beginning, there is no one size fits all. But this simple tool and technique can really begin to empower you from the inside to make that positive change. So I'm just going to share a little bit about how the band works. So it's going to arrive. And the first thing that I'm going to recommend that you do is take it out of the pack, pop it onto your non-dominant wrist. So if you're right-handed, on your left. If you're left-handed, pop it onto your right. If you've got a watch either side, like whichever, just wear it on the one which is most comfortable. But the reason that I say wear it on your non-dominant wrist is you notice it more. It feels a little bit odd sometimes wearing it on that non-dominant wrist. And what you're going to begin to do is every time you look at your band, or so say you're driving, you might be walking along, doing the washing up, sat writing something at your desk. Every time you catch that glimpse of the band, I want you to pause for a moment and check in with your mind and ask yourself, what am I saying to myself right now? Just have a listen to what's going on in the mind, because so much of what we think, in fact, around 80% of what we think, studies have shown, is habitual, meaning that we have the same thoughts day in, day out. So once we begin to tune in and recognize that, recognize being step number one, if it is something negative, disempowering, something that you're worrying about, I want you to simply snap. And we're going to snap just down the side of the wrist here, just gentle snap. And then replace the thought. Replace it with something more positive, something more empowering, something more warrior-like. For example, I can do this. I've got what it takes. I'm going to breathe and relax. I am safe. I am okay. Something as simple as that. And what it's actually doing is it is changing your focus from being on that worry. When we snap, it actually creates what's called the spotlight effect in the mind. And it's almost as if it's just got your attention. And once your subconscious mind has gone, oh, hello, yep, you've got my attention. What happened then? That's when you have what I call like a window of opportunity. You can then begin to plant a new thought in. And by planting in that new thought, as I shared before, some really simple examples, it might even be what you're having for your dinner. just something that is shifting your focus. It might be a happy memory from a holiday. It might be something that you're looking forward to on the weekend. But what you're doing by doing this is shifting your focus away from the negative and actually creating a new neural pathway. If we were to look a little bit more into the science behind it, it breaks that old thought pattern and creates a new connection. And every time that we do this, it strengthens it. It doesn't have to be the same thought, but what it does is it's like a little city. It lights up a new part of the brain every single time that you shift your focus to something more positive or something more warrior-like. And over time, now I'm not going to lie, it takes practice. So the next step is repeat. So once you have done this, it isn't like a wham, bam, bam, done. We know that if you go to the gym once, you'll feel good after, but if you really want to make a definition in your muscles, if you want to change how you look and you feel, you've got to show up consistently. The exact same thing for the brain. So once you have done that, crack on with your day. Then check in again. What am I saying to myself? If it's something, a worrier thought, snap it, replace it with a warrior thought. The more that we do this, as we said, imagine it, there's not much going on over here, but imagine it like a bicep. Right now, that bicep is huge if we've been really worrying, overthinking, struggling with that anxiety. And as we begin to stop having those thoughts and changing them, it's like we're picking up the weight with the other side. We're going to begin to strengthen those new positive neural networks in the brain. And before you know it, thinking more positively, a more neutral mindset will become your natural way of being. So as I shared, when I first started using this technique, it was like a jungle in there. And it took a little while. Obviously, I picked it up very, very quickly, but it took a little while and lots of practice. I'm going to say a good couple of weeks, just so that you know to stick with it for a good few weeks. And you will begin that every time you just look at it, okay, I'm just going to change it. Before you know it, you might not even have to snap it. Now, there's lots of different things that you can use your band for, such as helping you to quit smoking, fear of public speaking, anxiety. And I'm going to be sharing a lot more around this in the following emails. So you will receive another video from myself in a few days' time once your band has arrived, you've got used to wearing it. And if you have any questions at all, I'm going to urge you to drop me an email. Or if you aren't already a member of the Awaken the Warrior free Facebook support group, I'm going to recommend that you join on there. There's over 500 members there now, all who are using their Awaken the Warrior band, those that have attended different seminars, trainings around this stuff. So you are going to be around like-minded warriors, let's say. And the more support that you have with people that are on similar journeys, the faster your journey goes, the more you feel confident in moving forward. So I think that is all. And the other cool thing I was going to share is it's reversible. This is what we love. So it is reversible. And a little hack for you. Should you wish to clean it, a little bit of either hand soap works, a little bit of fabric softener, anything like that. Rub it between your fingers. Give it a little rub here. You can rub it around. Give it a little wash. Bam. Like new. So the other thing, that was it. The last thing that I'm going to say is if you were up for it, it would be so cool if you could share this with your friends, your family, and your personal network. Let them know that you're taking control of your life. Let them know that how you're feeling and that they may resonate, and it's like you're not on your own. I know I'm not on my own and I'm taking these positive steps forward. So if you were up for it, we've got lots of people doing this now. You can take a picture with your band and share it online. Hashtag Awaken the Warrior. And let us know. Let us know how you get on with it. And like I said, any questions, feel free to fire away. I will personally make sure that I get back in touch and help you and support you any way that I can. So for now, I I'm going to say enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your evening, and I look forward to catching up with you again on email and on video very, very soon. So have a great rest of your day.